up, everybody? We are live here at the Anniston Oxford Kia store for the Coach Etheredge show once again. Coach, last week you were off, had an off week. I didn't want to bother you. I know you guys are busy all the time, and I figured, hey man, he needs an off week from everything, which is one of my questions coming up in my calligraphy handwriting right here. But before we get into that, Coach, I know it's bittersweet going into an off week when you're playing so hot, but I know you like to get guys healed up, dinged up, or whatever. Talk about last week and going into that off week and your mindset heading into it.
Well, just like you said, just getting people back, that's banged up a little bit, getting them on the table, getting them well. And, we had a physical game the week before with Gaston City, and, got a couple guys banged up in that game. So he gave us a little time. We gave the guys some time off. We did some walkthroughs and a lot of film sessions and stuff like that. And sort of try to get them away from each other a little bit with all this COVID stuff, let them get away from each other and, just relax and chill out. And,
Do you have any ice baths for them?
We had some ice baths, yeah, we did that,
That's the new hot tub.
Yeah, we did it before, like Wednesday before the Gas City game. That's one of our Wednesday things, we like to get them in there and get them juices going. Yeah, and some of them hate it. And, some of them love it. It gets them rejuvenated and gets them ready to go.
It'll definitely wake you up. Ain't no doubt about it. One thing I want to ask you about is those new warm ups y'all were sporting last night. Those are beautiful.
Oh yeah, the guys got those.
Oh man, talk about those a little bit.
Yeah, we got some new gear in yesterday, and got to give it out to the guys, and they were sort of pumped.
Who designed those?
That was an X-Grain thing. Yeah, X-Grain did them, and they do a great job. And kids get them personalized, get their names on them, get their numbers on them. And it's a great travel suit for us. And something's laying around. I like when something's laying around the locker room. I like to know whose it is because then they got to come get it from me, and they got to pay me to get it back. So. They got to come in and do their stadiums, or if they want their thing back. And if they don't have their stuff, they don't get on the bus to go to the game. So
one way or another, they can pay for this.
Absolutely.
I love that. So, like when you go into an off week, this particular off week, let's dial it down to this one. What did you want most to see out of your guys going into this off week, during this off week?
Just staying focused and knowing that we got a big region game coming up, and it's sort of a homecoming. Coach Osmond was here for a little while at Oxford, and Coach Darden was here at Oxford for a while. Coach Roughton was on our staff last year, on the state championship staff last year, and he's over there right now. And those guys are great coaches, and our kids want to play great against them.
That's right. Yeah, because Osmond coached and Roughton, they coached these guys.
Absolutely.
And Darden. This class is still here.
Yep, they're young. They were young when Coach Osmond was here a couple years ago. These are sophomore and freshmen then. So they've coached all these guys, and they love those coaches.
You definitely want to show out against somebody
that you love.
Yeah, for sure.
They got a lot of respect for.
Yeah, I used to when I transferred in high school, when I got to play my old team. I played with a sense of pride, different sense of pride when I played against them.
Absolutely, and they're going to coach with a sense of pride because they're going to want to beat those guys.
They're going to play spoiler. Ain't no doubt about it. Who do you think benefits more from an off week? The coaches, where you can kind of relax and not have to just be so uptight, or the players?
I think it's both. I think both. You need that time. I think it's good to have it in the middle of the year. I've done it every way you can do it. I've either done it first year, middle of the year, or end of the year. Used to at Leeds, I would do it the first of the year because I wanted to play a jamboree game. Like a practice game to get us ready for the year. And we didn't have an off week. We just tried to go 15 straight games. And, I've done it at the end of the year. We would play 10 straight games and then get an off week before the playoffs. I really don't care too much of that, because, you don't want that off week right before playoffs. I don't. I'd kind of like to do it at the middle of the year or the beginning of the year. That off week at the end, there's too many things that can happen.
Variables.
Yeah.
Especially this year with all the surroundings. To this point in the season, how would you grade your team? Are they about on par where you wanted them to be at this point?
I think that we've had a lot of improvement since we started. Especially, the defensive side has improved tremendously. And that's just a testament how good Coach Cochran and his staff is on the defensive side. Offensively, William's done a great job of keeping those guys grounded, keeping them keeping the foot on the pedal, and keeping everybody healthy and working those young guys in when we need to work them in and getting those starters out when we need to get them out. So.
Coach Cochran, he was on our preview show Monday. He talked about, he's like, man, our starters right now are really playing at an elite level.
They are.
The shutouts they've pitched up to this point. He said, man, we're kind of clicking at the right time.
Right.
That's why I asked him, I said, do you want to go into this off week? You just rather keep rolling? He said it's bittersweet, kind of pretty much.
Yeah, and it is. And you get to see a lot of things, during the off week. You get to study a lot of film. That's the thing the coaches have been doing. They've been really getting in and studying film for all the upcoming, games that we have. We got film of most of our teams that we play in the region because of us playing other teams that have played them. So, we've been able to watch ARAB, and, we don't want to get past, watching ARAB because that's the next opponent. But you'd have to be doing yourself a disservice if you didn't, just peek at some of the other guys. Some of the other teams.
Start your foundation of your
That's right. Because we still have 3 region games left. So.
That's right. Yeah, you definitely don't want to go into it and miss something.
Absolutely.
Now, and you talked about this a minute ago, but I want to know specifically how you do it. How do you keep your guys focused? There's never been a year like this with this COVID, but then you got, you're talking about cars, girlfriends, homework. You want them to do their homework, but just so many variables. Video games. How do you keep your guys focused?
And the video games and stuff, you don't worry too much about that. They usually do that when they're at home and stuff. The girls you do worry about, the cars, all that stuff you worry about, but you have to have a special group of guys who understand that. Look, we gotta have your complete attention for the next 16 weeks when the season starts. And if we don't have your complete attention during that 16 weeks, we won't win a state championship. It has to be everybody on board and everybody pushing for the same goal.
That's a good point. It's a very good point. Yeah, and the cell phone too. I forgot to think of that one.
Yeah, those are all over the place. So
now,
as I said, I was glad there wasn't cell phones when we were in school.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm glad for several reasons.
Well, you just don't. It's just a distraction.
It would have took away from.
Right.
I know.
Anybody can get in touch with you anytime.
Yeah, it's just a huge distraction.
Absolutely.
Now, you guys do have ARAB. You just talked about them. They're a well-coached football team.
Yes. Those kids.
Osmond's the top guy. The teams take on their head coach,
That's right.
and they take on his. But what is it that you've specifically seen about them as they head into this week? The challenges they're going to present for you.
Well, they got a good running back. Six is a good running back. They're good on defense. They're scrappy. They get to the ball. And they'll hit you. And like you said, they take on the persona of their coach. And there ain't no guy tougher than Lee Osmond. He was tough as a player.
He's rattled my feelings before in basketball.
He is tough as a coach. We played against him when I was at Leeds when he was at Glencoe, and he had some good teams. And he's just a great coach. And not only a great coach, he's a great man. He's a great godly man and a guy that I consider a good friend.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I used to do when I ran Verizon. I used to do cell phones for his family, his wife, and all. They would come by. Really good group of people. I enjoyed it.
His boys were studs.
Man, yeah, Pace. Man, is it Pace the one that was the running back?
They were good. Both of them were good.
Yeah, they were horses. Yeah. I remember. All right, Coach. Going into the second half of this season here, I'm gonna ask you about all 3 phases of your team and what you want to see from them. Let's start with the offensive side of the ball.
Just continue to take care of the football. Trey's thrown 22 touchdowns and only thrown 1 interception. We have not. I bet our turnover ratio is way down there. We have not turned the ball over much, and that's what we got to continue to do. We got to take care of the football. We got to play smart and not get silly penalties. We've hurt ourselves at times with silly penalties, and we got to be smart and eliminate those things. But we've done a great job of running the football, throwing the football. I want to get our backs a little more involved as far as running the football. Trey's our leading rusher right now, which he's that good. So and he is a special kid. And but we've running back by committee. That's why nobody has no huge numbers. You could put Traquan or Rod or Ciosi or Shannon, any of those guys back there, and give them the bulk of the carries, and they're going to have 700 yards right now.
Yeah.
But we've sort of mixed it up, and everybody's got their hands on. It makes it hard for people to pinpoint one guy to stop.
Right.
So
somebody checks in, we're not going to swarm to him.
That's right. And you have Rock and Bakari and Warren and Cam and them out there, going after balls, Patton going after balls that, it sort of does not allow you to focus on one guy.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So offensively, just continue to spread it around, continue to, do what Will does, which is get the ball to a lot of different people. Yeah, he does a great job of calling plays.
His offensive line seems to be peaking.
They're doing great, and that's a testament to Coach Tapley. He's been in the business a long time, and he is phenomenal at getting those guys ready to play and motivating them. And it don't hurt that you got Pilk and Braden Joyner and Brandon Kirksey and Nate and Sandman and Tucker Starling. So all those guys play an integral part in what we're doing.
Yeah, those
and Cam has stepped down there and play tight end and block. So
he's Swiss Army.
Yeah, he can do a lot of things.
Defensively, what do you want to see at
look, like I said, they've gotten so much better from the start of the season to right now. They're rallying to the ball, and they take on the mentality of their coach too. Because they play hard nosed. They'll get in your face. They're going to get downhill and they're going to hit you in the mouth. And in the secondary, you really don't know what you're going to get. You may have zone one play, and it may, and then we may be locked up man, and he's going to roll guys, he's going to move guys, and it makes it hard on a quarterback to decide what he's going to do with the ball. And do I throw at Delvon Fagus? Do I throw at Traquan Fagus? Do I throw at Rodriguez Elston? Do I throw? We got a guy that's a junior back there that a lot of people don't even talk about. Miguel Mitchell, that he is. 6'3", 6'4". He's 205 pounds, and he can flat out fly. But he silently makes play after play after play after play, and it's not. And
I've heard his name several times.
Yeah, and you've got all these high-profile kids, but he's also out there making plays, and he does his job so well that you don't hear a lot out of the guys that he's covering, because he does a great job of coverage and tackling in space and doing those little things.
Some of the best.
We're strong in secondary at the linebacker position. Oh, yeah. You have guys that are flying. We've got 6-7 linebackers who are real good, and out of those 6-7 linebackers, only 2 of them are seniors. So a lot of those guys will be back next year. The 2 seniors, of course, Lee Robinson and Chancellor Holyfield, and they're solid. Lee's an inside guy, Chancellor's an outside guy, and with Lee, you got Kevin TT, and you got a kid that's All-State, first team All-State last year, BJ Elston in there, and on the outside, with Holyfield, you got Jordan Dobbins, who's an All-State kid also, and then you have Wheels, who plays out there, and you also have Shanab Whitfield that plays out there. So there's a lot of guys with a lot of talent in that linebacker group. And then up front, we got some guys who aren't huge guys, but they get after. Jabri Ford has been huge getting him back.
I told that to Cochran the other day. And watching film on you guys, Ford, man, God almighty.
He's an athlete up there.
I don't see how we can get a hand on him. More or less blocking.
He's an athlete, and he's came back off that knee injury, like a game buster.
Oh man, it's like he's got his first step. You got some dogs on every level.
That's the guy that played. That's the only defense front guy that we had that played like last year.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
It is.
And then of course,
that's a testament to Coach Doc.
Yeah, and by the way, I heard a little bit of his speech in the Gadsden City game. He gets you fired up.
Yeah,
Ain't no doubt about it.
Get you ready to hit somebody.
Yeah, you better ready. I don't even know if I'd make it out of the locker room. I'd start hitting teammates. And then your special teams. That's a unit.
Yeah.
Sometimes gets overlooked, but you've had multiple touchdowns called back.
Oh yeah.
Traquan
Fagus, you're gonna kick it to him, you're crazy. But
I don't understand that either.
You got Rod Elston back there, Warren Britt back there. All those guys can take it to the house. We got a young kicker, Gutierrez. He's a sophomore, and he's doing a great job of kicking for us. And then Garcia comes in and kicks some, and then you have on the side punting. You know, we'll punt some out of the offensive sets and let Trey punt, but you have Sam Robertson, who's doing a great job punting. You know, he's a 10th grader. So young.
Well,
young
the defense
man.
like you got, having a good punter is huge.
And
Huge.
Cam does a good job of snapping the ball. You know, he's still,
Swiss
we're
Army.
still working. We're still working. I told him he's not perfect, but you know, I said neither's your daddy.
Dude,
His mama is though. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know that. Cam is a jack of all trades, man.
He's working hard, and you know he's getting better and better. The more experience they get, the better they're going to get.
I'll never forget. Josh called me, man, when he was going through y'all's videos, and he's like, "Have you seen this touchdown?" I'm like, "Cam." I was like, "No." He's like, "Dude, that guy can fly, man."
I don't think anybody's ever accused him of flying.
He was on that screen, or
he can run a little bit. He's gotten faster. He's worked hard. He's worked real hard on that.
On that video, it looked like he was moving, man.
I fast forwarded. So.
It's time and a half.
That's right.
Well, Coach, I ain't gonna hold you up, man. I know you guys got to get to work. It's early on a Wednesday, so we're about to shut this one down. And thank you to Kia Stores of Anniston, Oxford, as always, for having the Coach Etheredge Show. We are out.
Go Big Up.